Curtis King, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on making music that fits the time or being different from the bunch? This is a question from the Mecca 504 from my private Discord, and a great question for another episode of Curtspiration. Let's talk about it. Okay, rappers and music producers, let me just say first and foremost, thank you for choosing to watch today's video. If you like this video, like this video. If you want to stick around for more content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have something that you want to add to the conversation, leave it down below in the comments. Great question from the Mecca 504 in my private Discord. Once again, he asks, what are your thoughts on making music that fits the time or being different from the bunch? I think the first thing we need to talk about, the elephant in the room, is this idea that these two are separated. The music that fits the time versus the music that makes you different from the bunch. No matter what you do, you're making music of the time. Hear me out. Even if you're a producer or a rapper that is making music from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a certain type of musical palette that has a date, a very strong date attached to it, right? Maybe you're doing the 808s a certain way that gives people the vibes of like the Saint Lunatics and Nelly. I don't know, that's the first name that came to mind. Maybe you're making certain drum patterns that were popular in the early 2000s or late 90s. Maybe you're making some boom bap and people are just trying to figure out what era are you trying to capture. No matter what you do sonically, you are of this time. So there is no separation of that. No matter what radio tries to make you feel, no matter what anybody else who is probably a producer or music creator is going to try to make you feel, no matter what you do, you're going to make music of the time. Even if it's your interpretation of another time, it's still with modern technology. It's still with instruments and techniques that maybe weren't as clear or even around when those original artists were making the music that you're paying homage to. Now, that's just for that example. So I don't think we need to separate the two. I think what this really comes down to is making music that you want to make versus making music that you force yourself to make so that you have more listeners or you have more of what is the most popular type of music of the time. And I think that no matter what you do, fam, the energy is going to be exposed. No matter what you make, I'm going to say it again, the energy is going to be exposed. When you are forcing the issue, right? If you don't have, for example, if you don't have a genuine excitement or goosebump that builds around you when you listen to something like UK drill, and then you try to go in there half-heartedly and put these kicks and snares, yeah, you might be able to do a good imitation job. But there's going to be a certain level of oomph, a certain level of attention to detail, a certain level of care that you're just not going to pay as much attention to versus the person that goes into this and says, I am doing UK drill and putting these 808s where I put them because emotionally, I feel every single role from my favorite record that I've ever heard that was a UK drill, for instance. So I would say before you think about making music of the time being the solution to whatever problem that you're trying to solve, let's say it's financial, let's say it's you want more listeners, you have to understand that whatever your energy is, it will be exposed at some point in time. So instead of trying to hop from genre or subgenre to subgenre, looking for a way to kind of shortcut the process, not saying that you would, but if you are trying to shortcut the process, think about what actually gets you going about these particular sounds. Also, study these sounds because chances are, just like if you're a fan of sports, right? If I was a fan of 80s and 90s basketball, well, that sport has changed drastically over the last 21 years, 31 years. There are certain rules that would not apply anymore, or new rules that have come in that if you were a head coach and the last time you coached was the 90s and that's the last time you watched basketball, you wouldn't understand the new instant replay moments. You wouldn't understand the shooters that used to get certain plays and certain fouls that they're not getting anymore because the rules just changed this year. So I think that there's still within music a certain groundwork, a certain representation of where the population is at. I think that when you're thinking about making music that is of a different era, you also got to ask yourself, what was happening during that time? What were the temperature of the people, right? What was sort of the makeup of the region that this music came from? Why does that matter? Fast forward to 2020 and think about the amount of people who were drenched in escapism. How many people were stuck in their homes during the pandemic who wanted to find a way to get away from this time, right? They didn't want to hear music about how terrible the world was. They didn't want to hear music about how terrible the pandemic was. It's like, nigga, I'm living in it right now. They're not trying to hear that. They want some escapism, right? If you have that music that is going to help them escape, whatever means that you do that, whatever direction you want to go in sonically is naturally going to pull them out of that, because once again, it is something that is energetically driven. So pay attention to what's going on just with the general population, and 9 times out of 10, it will give you a great, fantastic idea of how fast the music is going to be, why it's that fast, what types of topics are being covered. What are the for example, what are the ideas of relationships in modern R&B now? Like when you listen to modern R&B songs, you hear a lot of folks that are talking about love in a way that they weren't talking about in the 70s and 60s, right? It's a very like fast paced, let's just be friends, hit it and quit it, let's keep on moving type of love. But I think that no matter where you are right now as a human being and what you represent, there are more people like you. And I think that you have to be very clear first with yourself of what you represent from a moral standpoint, what you represent as a man or a woman. You got to know what you represent. And when you know what you represent, it's going to help guide you through this new landscape. But do not have it in your head that there's a separation between the two. You are of this time no matter what you make, no matter what sounds you use. If you want to use all 80s TR-808 type drums, no matter what you do, it is going to be a modern tinge that you cannot help. So there's no separation. At the end of the day, too, I'm going to end on this note. You got to make the music that's going to make you proud to look back upon. There's going to be a day where you are not going to pick up music anymore like you once did. It's going to be a very casual, very super casual hobby. You will look back on your career and think about all the chances that you took, the times it worked, the times it didn't work, and you're going to think back, man, was there something more that I could have dove into? Guess what? The time to make edits on that time is right now. So I highly suggest that you do what makes you feel good first. And then identify who are the other people who find this aesthetic to be feel good. Because when you're talking about looking back on your legacy, that's all that's really going to matter. How did you feel about your experience? What was your impact on other people's experience? And then from there, you really can't make the wrong type of music. Once again, that was another episode of Curtspiration. Doodle. I want to say thank you for watching today. Once again, look. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure you hit the like button. If you have something that you want to add to this, leave it in the comments. But look, if you are stuck between this tug and pull, stop the tug and pull. Just dance with it. You are the creature that you are. Musically, sonically, lyrically, whatever it is, you are who you are. Don't fight that. Whatever that comes out as, just make sure that it's authentic. Make sure that it's genuine. And you really can't go wrong. Whatever the ceiling is of your fan base, you have 8 billion opportunities to make it as large as you need to make a living off of it. Rappers and music producers, if you ever want to talk to me one-on-one, I do one-on-one consultations as well as courses at CurtisKing.com. I would love to chop it up with you and guide you along your particular career. Like I always say, in this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Once again, it's Curtis King of CurtisKing.com and Curtis King TV. Have a good one. What?
When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.